Hey y'all, I went a little bit crazy in this video, but if you stick around till the end, I can promise you there's going to be at least 3 tips that you can apply to your life to beat your dopamine addiction.
What is a dopamine addiction? Dopamine addiction is literally fucking everything. Do you understand? Dopamine, you have to ask yourself, what is your dopamine addiction? I have to assume most people who are Googling dopamine addiction are addicted to TikTok, are addicted to YouTube. Okay? Otherwise, they would say how to beat a porn addiction, how to beat a drug addiction, how to beat a alcohol addiction. They wouldn't call an alcohol, if you're an alcoholic, you wouldn't say dopamine. So I have to assume you're addicted to TikTok. So the easiest way to beat your TikTok addiction is to simply delete TikTok. Okay? Now, then you go into your phone and you go into your app settings and you restrict TikTok. Not only that, here's another trick. Go on TikTok on your computer. Now, this is just going to keep you off for a little bit, but go into your password manager, right? Make a complicated password. Get a password manager. KeyPass is free. Make like a 40-character password. Use the dice. Roll it. 40 characters. Okay? Impossible for you to remember. Change your password on TikTok and then delete it. And then delete that entry for your password manager. And then delete TikTok off your computer. Sign out. Make sure it's already off your phone. You could never fucking log in again. One time I did this with all my accounts. I couldn't log into anything because I couldn't remember the password to my password manager. It was a fucking nightmare. Now, how can you actually beat the dopamine addiction? I mean, are you guys really that addicted to TikTok, to YouTube? I know I am. Sometimes I'll lose a whole day. Just scrolling X. And here's the reason. It's because you're bored. You're not doing anything with your life. You don't have a mission. You don't have a purpose, right? You don't have something that you obsess over that is bigger, more compelling to you than TikTok. So, and the reason you don't is because you're so cooked on TikTok. So you need to fast from these dopamine things. So if it's YouTube, if it's Instagram, if it's X, if it's TikTok, any social media, you need to fast from these, okay? You need to take a break. You need to take a month off, okay? Nothing is going to fucking change. I just gave all this up for Lent, and nothing changed. I didn't miss anything, okay? I was going into church on Sundays, and the only thing I knew that was happening in the world is that my priest was saying, as the winds of World War III are surrounding us, bow your head in prayer. Okay? That's the only news I had. And I could tell you, World War III didn't happen. And even if it did, if a nuke was coming, I'm not going to be able to do shit. I'm just going to get vaporized like the rest of us, right? I'm not a soldier, okay? I'm a civilian. And I'm near military bases, probably. So I'll probably get smoked. So anyways, something you shouldn't worry about. Now, here's another thing. Dopamine addiction is highly related to blue light toxicity. I don't want to get into this too much because I'm not a total expert, but what you need to do is you need to reduce your screen time at night. And you need to try and get morning sunlight. Now, this isn't necessarily going to help you, but the blue light does something to your brain which just makes you fucking mesmerized to your screen. Think about Las Vegas, right? If you guys know Jack Cruz, this is all from Jack Cruz. I'm paraphrasing his stuff poorly. If you know Las Vegas, what's the worst thing you know about Las Vegas? It's full of fucking light, right? Blue light. And then when you know about casinos, what do you know about casinos? You go into a casino, it's light everywhere. They turn off they close the windows. You don't know what time it is. You don't have any concept of the sun. Only blue light blasting in your eyes. On top of that, you have free alcohol. You have all this shit. So They pretty much do the exact opposite. It's free alcohol and like beautiful women bringing you it, right? Most of the time, right? So it's free alcohol. It's literally opposite of a dopamine fast. It's going into a casino in Vegas, right? So same thing with like strip clubs. No windows, beautiful women, blue light, alcohol, etc. So if you think about that from the opposite perspective, you need to remove this from your life. After sunset, I would suggest you limit your artificial light by using blue light blockers. It sounds kind of corny because it is, but I'll tell you, it works. So you can still look at your screen a little bit, but at night, wear the blue light blockers. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel as mesmerizing. Okay? Right. So also on your phone, what you can do is you can set up an accessibility thing where you go in there and you can turn your screen deep red. Okay? When your screen on your phone is deep red, because I know all of you have a phone addiction, you don't want to use it. Now you just turn that on after sunset when it's dark, and there you go. You can also turn off your Wi-Fi, you can put on airplane mode. For me, I have a timer on my router, so that turns off at a certain point. I can't use it unless I go and fucking literally adjust the timer, which I don't want to. Okay, so now you're in a pretty good spot. If you can, you should wake up and go outside and see the fucking sun. Okay? Most of you are atheists. Most of you believe, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but most of you believe in evolution, right? I believe it too. But when you go out into the sun, okay, if you're an evolutionist, just fucking think about this for a second. What has always been there forever for our planet? Sunlight. Okay? And even if you're religious, God said, let there be light before anything else. Okay? You need sunlight. Sunlight has the full spectrum of light that's going to go into your eyes, and it's going to fix your circadian rhythm, and it's going to wake you up early, and it's going to make you feel motivated. You were designed by the sun, with the sun. The sun, if the sun went away, we all know we would fucking die, right? Everything would die. Everything would die. And you wonder why you're sitting in your house with blue light above you, staring at a screen with an iPhone next to you. The only time you take a break from your iPhone is to go on your Xbox. And the only time you go to work, when you go to work, you go into an office under the same lights. You look at a fucking computer, right? And when you take a break from that computer, you look at your iPhone. It's all there fucking up your dopamine system. Okay? It's all related. You can't just say, I don't want to watch TikTok. Now, you can, and you can, people do this all the time. They just delete TikTok because it's not that bad. But you have to incorporate these other things too. And I can tell you, it'll just be super easy to give up TikTok. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is finding something meaningful to do with your life. That is difficult. That is difficult. You got to talk to God about that one, right? It's not about your passion. It's about what you're good at. If you're really good at something, you should, that's probably why you were put here on this earth. If you're really good at something, and if you don't know what you're good at, you have to try a bunch of things. Okay? If you have some goal, something you want to change about something you want to improve. I was watching this guy who has a nursery, and he said his life purpose is plants, growing out his nursery. He hasn't made money in like 5 years, QC Tropicals. And his purpose is to just build that commercial nursery. And he just gets up every day and he does it. Even though he's made no money, even though his body hurts, his mission is more important than his fucking health. So he goes out and he makes it live, and he loves his plants. I mean, who can knock that guy? That guy, he's never going to be super rich. But, well, maybe he will be. I believe he could be. But that is his mission. And so that's the final piece of the puzzle. So you kind of have to stop. You kind of have to put some guardrails on the social media stuff. You have to fix your light addiction. You have to fix your light addiction. That was my lightsaber. It scared the shit out of me. And then you need to have a mission. Okay? Once you have a mission, everything else falls in place. By the way, think about the times you feel like shit the most. Think about the times you feel like shit the most. It's when you stare at your iPhone for 5 hours, 8 hours. I do this at the office. When there's no work to do, I just watch YouTube. And by the end of it, I literally could eliminate myself. And that's how depressing it is. That's how miserable it is. It's just because you're staring at your phone. How many people, if they sit outside on the beach with no phone, they're just on the beach in the sun, how many of those people are happy at the end of the day? It's all of them.